Toxic Crusaders, the series from Troma, distributed through MVD, is on Blu-ray as they went and they used Retrowave, a company that I guess specializes in enhancing old things to bring them up to a higher definition. And they have used that to complete this Blu-ray disc, this two-disc Blu-ray disc from the ill-fated Toxic Crusaders, a cartoon that was going at one time to possibly be, I guess, in the hopes and dreams of all the people at Troma, the next Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They even had action figures, I think, from the same company that made Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action figures. And they were going to use the slime, and they were going to use Toxie, and use these other little characters that was going to be made. And I guess they had dreams of syndication and dreams of this, basically an empire, which here we sit years later, and I don't really know anything that doesn't have a Toxic Avenger. Whatever, there's clocks, there's there's socks, there's t-shirts, there's still action figures. I mean, they've re-released the Toxic Avenger style action figures that this cartoon was was going to manufacture, and maybe it ended up good in the long run. Although Uncle Lloyd maybe didn't end up the millionaire that he hoped to be from this, but nonetheless, now I feel like my Toxic Avenger HD stuff is at least complete now with these cartoon here on Blu-ray. And first of all, this is what it looks like here. Now you can kind of see when you watch this show, which I believe is like 13 episodes over the two discs, you can kind of see why this didn't work. If you was a kid, maybe use a little bit more into it. But, even as a kid, as a guy who had seen Toxic Avenger, this was something I definitely was interested in. Probably more interested in the toys than I was the actual cartoon. But it just, it's not the same if you're in the classic Troma, which is very R-rated and very, not for kids. But Melvin, is Melvin Junko in this instead of just being Melvin, whatever his last name was in the show. His girlfriend is blonde, and she's not blind, but she's pretty stupid in this thing. And he's got a whole cast of like buddies that's also been, turned into what they are through the toxic stuff. It's like Doctor Kill 'Em Off is the evil doctor that is doing these things. He's got his own horde of mutated people as well. So yeah, I mean it's okay for what it is. I think I believe even Toxie, he isn't the Toxic Avenger in this. He's the Toxic Crusader. Then when he gets his grip, it's the Toxic Crusaders. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on. But if you watch the cartoons, which are roughly like 20 something minutes a piece, they were meant to be in 30-minute blocks. They kind of, they're hit and miss. So, or maybe I'm just used to R-rated Toxie. I mean, you watch the Passion of the Toxie or whatever it is, and then you watch this. You watch like Toxic Avenger 4, and you watch this, and it's kind of like, it's hard to believe it was technically the same material. But nonetheless, this thing, like I said, it was directed, or not directed, but provided restoration by Retrowave, who made the Toxic Crusaders video game. There's a lot of talk of that on this disc. It looks how it looks pretty much. I've seen people online complain and say that they think it's been altered a little bit with AI. Maybe that's the case. I'm not an expert on AI by any means, although there are times that things maybe look a little weird, and that could be a product of AI. I don't know. Does it look better than the DVD version? Yes, it does look better. It pops more than the DVD version, but it does look a little strange at times, and it's a little wiggly, and it's a little wobbly in certain spots. The little things seem a little unstable on screen that I don't remember from the original DVD version. But then again, what is the source material? Because I'm pretty sure this thing was mastered on video probably at some point. So it's like they're pulling what they can out of what they've got to pull it out with. So don't go into this expecting it to be, like a Disney cartoon, but it looks good for what it is. You got a new introduction by Lloyd Kaufman. The Toxic Crusaders toy commercials, all of them are here. Feature-length documentary about the making of the video game, which is interesting, but it's a little awkward because it's a little bit out of place. Like you'll see somebody talking forever, then you introduce him later. It's strange, but it is what it is. The long-lost archival footage of your favorite mop-wielding mutant. Bonus cartoons, the same things I believe that was on the DVD version. You get the old DVD intro. You get, a lot of stuff about the well, you get some vague stuff about why this didn't work back in the day and why it didn't get syndication. So there's a lot of stuff here to go through. Some things short, some things long, but it is a fun watch. I think maybe the extras for me might actually be better than the actual cartoon is, but Stuff pops here, and the end credits. People were complaining about this. The end credits have been remastered, completely new, I think. So they look good, and they've got the Retro Wave name on them. I mean, this is approved by the people that made this, basically Lloyd Kaufman, Michael Hertz, or whatever. Been approved by them, and they did do a lot of work on this. So why would they not have credit? So yeah, that's all here. But Toxic Crusaders, it's kind of a subpar cartoon, to be honest with you. Although I love Troma stuff in general, so therefore I'm a fan of it, even though it's not necessarily a cartoon I'd want to watch. I'd definitely go to Ninja Turtles over this any day of the week. So I'm giving it a 2.5 overall, but it is fun for what it is, and it is a cool release to have, especially with all the old extras on it. And yeah, it's a shame it never turned into what it probably could have turned into, but maybe we're better off because we probably never would have got the like Toxic Avenger 4 and all the other adult Troma stuff. They might have tried to turn Troma into a cartoon thing for everything if this had worked. So yeah, sometimes things are better off not working. But if you want to revisit what they tried to do, this is available now. So feel free to pick it up.